Welcome to Casual Quest Masters, a casual master quest podcast. In this podcast, we'll follow the adventures of a group of characters who simply want to find their way in the world, but a more sinister plot is evolving around them. How will they fare? What will they do? Let's find out today on Casual Master Quest.
Get your dice ready because we are back to another session of Casual Quest Masters. Welcome to our own Faerun, everybody. Representing Neverwinter is Nick Hilchody Bella.
Hi, I play Vol Nightwalker Val Nugoni, and today is not quite amused as everybody else.
Yeah, clearly. Holy smokes. Brandon Thresher.
Oh, I'm Magdohr Bandiron, and I'm all hands on deck.
I want to nod, but I realized for the audio, I have to laugh. I need to accept it.
Just let it happen.
Just let go. Say arm detaches. Yours truly, Tyler Vidito as Rodger, the angry boy with his new military toy. And last but certainly not least is our all-powerful dungeon master, Glenn Houston.
I'm happy to be here, chat. I just wanted to do a weird newscaster thing. How are you guys doing today? How we doing? How we feeling?
I'm doing pretty good. I got a nose plug on me right now.
Yeah,
Sorry, did you call us chat?
That for our audio listeners as well as those who are watching? Why you may or may not have something on your face, or do you just want to kind of let that explain itself?
I mean, people will try to hear what I try to sound like Rodger naturally. I try to get like a nasally Rodger from American Dad feel. And also, whenever I stop talking or when I'm talking, I try to do the airy breathe effect, like, hi, how's it going? But apparently I decided to do it with the nose instead. So it's like, how's it go? You know, how's it go? At the end of every fucking word I said. And it was infuriating me, like, hear this in podcasts. And, like, they don't need to hear that. And they probably won't notice until you point it out. But I said, screw it. I'm going to plug my nasal passages, fuse them together with the power of a swimmer's tool. And we'll see what's going to happen.
Podcast magic.
Podcast magic.
So yeah, I think we need to do our weekly doohickey about like who's gonna do the recap now then, yeah?
Yeah,
who's gonna recap?
All the players, let's roll a d20 and see who gets to do the recap. Oh man.
Oh no. I rolled a 17.
Whoops.
That's the wrong die.
Okay, I'm sorry. I pulled out my 200-sided die. Oh man. This worked out. All right. Brandon, what did you roll?
I got a 17.
All right. And I think I'm in the clear with the 4. What did you get, Nick?
I rolled a 1, which is a critical failure.
Automatic. Yeah, you have to do it.
So I automatically have to do the recap, which is fine because this last session
start with an inspiration point.
Wasn't too bad. Thank you, DM. I appreciate that.
Let's see how he does it.
No, and also if you heard the last episode, I gave like dun 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 dun. I put different music on the recap. So if you want to do it like in your announcer voice or your like dramatic voice, and then I'll just like bump it up and we'll make it kind of fun and it'll sound
I can try
cool
it.
every week.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I believe in you.
All right.
Previously on Casual Quest Masters, the gang does nothing for the whole day. No. So this is post events after our first adventure together as a group. We're all kind of like exploring the items that we've gotten from completing the quest successfully and bringing back a couple of prisoners. So Magdohr got a very interesting flask, a ceramic jar with different stoppers that does different things and pours out different liquids.
It was at this moment that the guy editing realized that Nick was talking about liquids, and this could no longer be passed off as an epic culmination of their previous episode. So, from this moment on, the facade shall cease. This has been a public service announcement. Thank you.
Rodger got goggles of the night, I think they're called. But basically they give him dark vision when he puts them on.
You thought I was an escort now.
After to recap, Vol got boots of Elven movement.
Elvenkind.
Elvenkind. Okay, I have them noted down somewhere. I just couldn't remember what they're called. So he got those, which gives him makes his footsteps silent and gives him advantage on stealth checks. And in the little pouches that the ravens delivered, there was notes to meet Algira, their original quest giver, later on in the tavern. So while they were all resting up, Vol, however, decided to interrogate the prisoners that they'd gotten back with them from the bandits, the Wu Tarzan clan that had raided them, or that had attacked. And they gave him the story of how they worked for the city of Neverwinter, doing work for Lord Neverember after the Cataclysm. And there was a clause in the contract when they were hired that they had to complete the job within a certain amount of time. They failed to do that. Because if they had done so, they would have received a tax break. But because they'd failed to do that, they did receive the tax break, and they felt that they were unfairly treated, and so they decided to resort to raiding caravans and people to survive. To do that.
A real Defias Brotherhood situation for the WoW players.
Yeah. And Vol was like, all right, this shit's too complicated, way too above my head. I'm going to pass it on to somebody who could actually deal with this. And so at the meeting with Algira, after confronting her about this, and from really, like, based on her reaction, he gathered that she didn't really know too much about it, or why they were attacking, or the fact that it was even the Merchants Guild, I believe that was, or members of the Merchants Guild that was carrying out the attacks. And so he resorted to handing them over post meeting. But during the meeting, however, Algira decided to offer us another job and a chance to meet the group's benefactor, who happened to be Lord Neverember. Ooh, shocker, I know. And Rodger had some serious issues with this. Rodger, picking up the scent of something devious, something sinister, something mob-like, had a conversation with Algira where she revealed that the next job was a meeting with a group of drow, was it? Right?
Exiled drow.
Exiled drow.
Yep.
Because he wasn't sure he could trust Algira, which was making him a little bit paranoid. Vol and Magdohr just saw it as another job, so they were happy to comply. Magdohr is still kind of like going along on for the ride, hammered out of his mind because of his new jar of alchemy that allowed him to pour about 4 gallons of beer, I think it was, a day.
Yes, 50 liters, I believe you described it in metric terms.
Drank himself into submission on day 1 of getting that, the jar of alchemy.
Drunk himself sounds right.
And then Vol realized he was punching far above his weight limit, and was like, all right, I'm handing off these prisoners. You have another job. How much does it pay? Sure, it's a simple escort mission, which was the mission where we had to escort Algira to a meeting with the exiled drow and then back safely.
Does anybody remember the name of the exiled the group?
It had one too many apostrophes in it, so no.
It did have a couple of apostrophes.
Yeah.
Also, one of my favorite lines, for what it's worth, last time was, I think I drank too much. I can't understand what they're saying.
Yep, when they're speaking Elvis to each other, and
yeah,
the dwarf's
that's when,
like, what the hell?
That's when Vol confronts her in Elvish.
He was like,
yeah.
I've had too much. No, the group's name was Brigand de Earth.
Brigand de Earth, yes. That sounds familiar. Thank you.
And
Thank
only
you,
Rodger is aware of the name, apparently.
Yes, because Algira and Rodger had a private conversation where Algira attempted to qualm some of Rodger's paranoia, and it worked for the moment. And so now the group have met up with Algira later at night, post meeting.
Wasn't Rodger a little frustrated with you though, Vol?
Yeah, I don't know for what reason. Vol is not really attuned to like emotions, so he doesn't really understand why. He was just doing his job. But Rodger was frustrated with Vol because Vol found out all this information about the Merchants Guild the prior night, and wasn't sure what to do with it. And Vol decided to confront Algira. And Rodger was upset that Vol made the decision without consulting the group. But Vol's like,
I saw.
I say I don't have a reaction. I'm Tyler. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well
that's
deserved
it.
inspiration
Yeah,
point.
And we're about
Everybody.
to go off and complete the mission.
Oh, okay. Well, cool.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
at this point you have kind of met, and I know that on the way to having met your friends, Rodger, there was something that you wanted to do, but we were trying to, finish up, and you didn't have time. But
Yeah, no, absolutely. We wanted to
retconning allowing
position
this to have
ourselves.
happen. What was that thing?
So up until we meet Elgira on the bridge before we begin the escort, cue the Pink Panther theme for all of 3 seconds because we don't want a copyright claim. Oh, I got the kazoo. No, not yet.
Put the kazoo away.
Boy. So I'm gonna say that like everybody meets up on the bridge on their own terms. Maybe you hear the song as he's like humming it, but walking up behind you guys from the darkness. Wow, I really now I sound even more nasally. You guys see a Goliath. A Goliath that seems a little familiar, but is somewhat different. It almost looks identical to Vol, except he is like Genie from Aladdin Blue. And so like you see with maybe a couple of extra belts across his chest, maybe a plain white t-shirt to give the 1980s badass vibe, and a large pair of patched pants. You see somebody walking up towards you guys, and he does stop next to you guys and slides down a pair of owl goggles. He does not say a word.
Vol is not surprised.
What about you, Magdohr?
Magdohr was
Personal
kind of
question: does Magdohr even know I'm a changeling? Because I don't believe I've ever tried to tell you. And
I mean, I guess that'd be past what you have told me on the previous job. I've seen you change, though. You've been different people.
You did that on the transport mission. You revealed your changeling form to everyone in combat.
true, I guess Magdohr is like, I've seen fucking worse.
I would have been like confused for a second, thinking it's Vol's brother or something, until I saw the goggles.
There it is. Yes, awesome. And Elgira kind of gives like a curious head turn and then raises her eyebrows in understanding and goes, so this is what you want to be known as? Because if you're going to do jobs seen with me, you have to look the same all the time.
Rodger looks eyes forward. Like, as you described the glasses, they are blue tinted, and
how?
it is
what's your name in this form, friend?
blue.
Blue?
Blue.
Are you saying boo?
I am Blue Nightwalker Val Nugoni. I am the survivor of the Val Nugani clan.
Vol smacks him.
I would smack you back.
Just like on the outside of his
smack.
head.
Is it like a what are you doing kind of thing? Or like, come on,
Yeah.
dude thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's making fun of Vol's tribe at this point. So
He is. Like,
yeah, especially
Yes.
because he's not a Goliath. So it's like he can't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Blue. All right. Is everyone cool? Do you have any other questions before we head out?
No.
No, we're ready.
What's our stipend at the broken tower there?
I'll pay for 2 drinks, but there's a 2 silver minimum or 2 silver maximum on each drink.
All right. That's all I need to know.
That'll get you something nice, or you can get. We'll just say it's 4 silver. I'll spend. Here you go. And she just pulls 4 silver and hands it to you, and she says, "Spend it like you like. Get a bunch of sewer swell and drink yourself crazy, but you may not do well on the job. But you can have some more junky stuff if you want, or a little nicer stuff. Up to you. I'm not gonna babysit you while we're there.
Magdohr, do not fall behind in helping out the clan.
Vol, is
I
this...
smack him again, just on the outside of his head.
Vol, is this...
I return the smack.
I feel like I've met Goliath before, and they've been tribal, but not quite so... tribal. You know?
This is what happens when he's upset with me, Algira. He resorts to making fun of our ways and my people.
Well...
Still eyes forward.
Fair enough. Just so you know, Blue, our Lord, who we are working for currently, is not aware of your changeling status. So, when you do get the chance to meet him, understand that whatever form you choose, you should keep it. So, if this is the form you want to keep consistently around the Lord, then that'd be so, but I was allowing you to keep that part of yourself private.
Algira, your trust in me and my trust in you goes infinitely to Lord Nava-Amber. If you trust me in my changeling form, I will let him trust me such too. And I smack Vol in the back of the head before he can do it. It's funny because I'm watching the gears work in Nick's head. He's like, how would Vol handle this? Because I'm waiting for like to throw me off the bridge or something like that.
Yeah, like I'm terrified right now.
Like you could imagine some conflict at this point. Like,
Blue, you're keeping watch outside the bar. You're not gonna step foot in that tavern.
I will serve as the point, the person with the wisest and the biggest perception abilities will make the broadest watch.
No, you're just annoying. I want you outside. I don't want you in there.
We will serve to our greatest capabilities.
All right, enough. Algira, we should probably get going.
Wait. Before we go,
Yes,
Vol,
Dwarf.
Let me see your blade.
I pull out my primary sword that I'd use with my right hand, and I present it to him.
I'm gonna hold it up. So, where'd you get this?
Honestly, I might have just pulled that off somebody I killed.
It looks like shit. Let me help you out here. And I'm gonna do Blessing of the Forge. I'm just gonna take my iron hand up the sword and just kind of slink it up, and it's gonna be a +1, well, +2 now.
Where you were learning to play the fool, I studied the blade.
And it's magical as well now, yeah?
Yes, yep, and it's magical. So this might, hopefully we don't have to use it. I'd much rather drink, but just in case.
I understand. Thank you. I wasn't having the best of time on our last outing. This might help me.
I noticed.
And Algira says, so no other questions? We can continue?
No, I'm ready.
All right, good. And she begins to walk in the direction you understand is the Fallen Tower. Now, just for reference, since you all know what this place is, I'm going to give you a little bit of a little context for you and our audience of what this place is. During the Cataclysm, this tower fell, and something happened with magic that was cast near it that causes echoes of the past to replay each night at a certain time. And then, and so basically what happened is there are images of people falling off the tower and parts of the tower falling off, kind of like in spectral form. And then at a certain point when a thing called the Spell Plague happened, a lot of people died, a lot of people lost their powers, that sort of thing, and new images were added to this thing. So each night when people are drinking, they can see these events replayed in magic form, magic spectral form on the tower, in and around the tower.
That sounds horrifying.
Well, it's
like dark.
It's pretty dark, but it's It's like a dark
watching a
version
snuff film.
of like a laser show. You know, like you go to Disneyland and you see like a cool laser show or like a light show or like whatever it is. Fantasia. They have a live Fantasia show.
Right.
It's cool. Lots of lights, you know, and this is the equivalent of that, but it's a little dark. It's something that reminds the people of Neverwinter of their history. But also when you're drunk and you want to be sad, you go there and watch people die, and you can, you know, it's cathartic for some people.
I was gonna say, it just sounds like self-torture, especially for somebody who could recognize one of these phantoms as a loved one that might have died during the cataclysm. It just sounds like torture for them to just go and stand by and watch, you know, because that's the only form of closure they get. Sorry, it's so early that all I can think of is dark shit like that.
No, I agree. And I was about to say, oh, well, it was like not that long ago, but like less than 100 years. But I forgot there are long-lived races here that aren't just humans. So the non-human races, even the human races, like might be able to see a grandparent or something, you know?
Right,
so
right.
yeah. So
Len,
that's
if
according to Vola's Guide to the North and the Neverwinter campaign setting books written by Matt Cernett and Ed Greenwood, just to make sure we give proper credit where credit's due. So
Hell yeah, nice on you. I was gonna ask, how are the streets as we walk towards this place? Do they look like your average city streets? Does it look a little bit more run down?
Well, you would be meeting her on a bridge that goes from the Protector's Enclave, the edge of the Protector's Enclave, which is kind of like the nicer area of town, into the Tower District, because there's a large river that runs through the center of the town, and you were on a bridge over the actual river. And so moving into the Tower District is a little seedier. And by a little seedier, I mean you're probably pretty likely to be robbed if you're just a single person that doesn't look like they can handle themselves moving into this place. So there are adventurers, there are bandits, there's an orc tribe that has, that recently has, like, they don't own a part of the city, but they definitely call the shots there. And recently they've been cool with Neverember, but that's not too far away from where the Fallen Tower is. So, like, it's not exactly the nicest part of town. You know, but you're used to that, living near the docks. Most of the city outside of the Protector's Enclave at night is not exactly the safest place in the world.
El Jira, should we take defensive formation around you?
I mean, you're my escort, so do what you feel is necessary. You understand this town much better than I do. As I'm not from here and I've spent some time here, but most of my knowledge of this place is of its history, not necessarily experienced.
Oh, you are right-handed and strong at counter-attacking. Would you take right flank?
Sure.
Magdohr,
I go to the back of the pack.
I start building like strategy, but the moment I try to sound mature, Vol's like, "No, I'm the rebelling child." And I was like, I kind of like look at him as like,
yeah, because the child he's been raising out of the kindness of his own heart is now turned into a racist. So, what you gonna do?
He looks at you and says, "Dishonor," and he takes the right hand side instead.
Magdohr?
Oh,
I'm not afraid to let pauses happen, just so you know.
Yeah. I'm just walking on her left.
Okay, perfect. So you got kind of this little triangular formation with her in the center-ish, but with you, with Vol on the back and Blue Vol on the right and Magdohr on the left. Great. And you walk along. What are your passive perceptions?
Shocker. I believe I'm still a 11. Yes, I am.
13.
14
and 14. Now, this is one of those things where the trip is not too long. It's probably about a 10 to 15 minute walk, depending on the pace you take. If you want to take it at a 10-minute pace, I'll allow you to take your passives, but you can't make any active checks because you'd be moving too fast. to make a successful check. If you want to take it at a 15-minute pace, slow it down a little bit, and be a little more cautious, I'll allow you to roll for that instead. What would you like to do? Just to keep your eye out for danger.
I don't feel any danger. I think we can go at a normal pace.
I was gonna say I have a perception of +1, so like in terms of like getting into better odds, my 11 as a passive is actually better.
Oh, I mean, in character, would you actively look around for danger? Because if you would, then that constitutes a check. But if you want to move faster, then you don't get the opportunity to.
I mean, Rodger is easily oblivious, even though he's paranoid, unfortunately. So whether or not that leads to his character flaw, it's on you.
Magdohr just wants to get to the tavern.
Yeah, and I think Vol knowing, like, kind of being aware of this part of the city, and also the fact that he's a Goliath is not too concerned, so it'd probably not be keeping too careful of an eye out.
Okay, awesome.
So probably a little faster.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys pick up the pace a bit, kind of just keep your basic perception about you, and walk through. You see a few people kind of like in and about the street. Some people pass going by to different taverns. Some of them have obviously been drinking a bit. It's like 10-15 at this point. So people have had several hours of no sun to be actively involved at the bars post eating. And yeah, eventually you get there. Nothing presents itself as a threat. Several rats scurry by, boy. And eventually you get up to the tower at about 10, like I said, 10:15, 10:20. And you arrive at the front door, and she stops you guys about like a house, like a business, because there's several bars and shops in the area. She stops you probably about 30 feet short of the door, and she turns around and says, "So there will only be 2 of you in the bar now?"
Yes.
Okay. How will you signal him if trouble goes down? Because I will be inside the bar, inside a back room, and I am concerned for the fact that he may not be able to reach us if something goes wrong.
If Vol believes I am best served outside here, I will do my part to make sure nothing troublesome will come. If I do, I could message through like 6 inches of wood.
Okay. And she nods.
No, he's gonna stand guard by the door on the inside.
On the inside.
You're right.
Great.
Oh.
Good. Yeah, I figured there's a doorman. They'll take care of any ruffians out here, so that makes me feel better.
I can't let emotions affect the job.
That's why I hired you guys.
Grown wiser. Well, I'm proud of you.
I'd already started like strolling off. Didn't wait around for him to say anything.
Sorry, Blue Ball, sometimes I'm having a hard time hearing you. What did you say?
I said, I'm proud that you have grown wiser. Or something to that effect.
Okay.
And cool. Like he follows right behind Vol because he knows Vol won't have any time for his bullshit, but he makes sure he hears every word.
Okay, cool. So you walk into the bar? Question mark?
Yes.
All right. So you pass 2 doormen that are both look like they're like one of them looks half orc, the other one looks like he's half something, but whatever he is half of is very furry. Like more than your average like beardy guy. And you pass in, but they're both well over 6 feet tall. So Vol and Blue Vol don't feel out of place, but Magdohr, they're real tall. But that's not something you're not accustomed to.
Keep up, Dwarf.
And so you come in, and like I said, it is like your quintessential stone tower. So it's round in nature, and it is quite large though. And so you walk in, and you feel like the aesthetic that it's much like the other bar that you guys tend to frequent, except the ceilings are much higher because it's not built in the deck of a ship. It's built in what used to be a wizard's tower. So it has scaling walls and massive amounts of space comparatively. Vaulted ceilings. There is a stairwell in the back that rounds along the back end behind the bar going up to a second floor. and a bar is built in front of that. Now, off to the right and left, it looks like there are like separate rooms that have been built in to the tower where people can have meetings or whatever. And she leads you through like a pretty crowded bar scene to the door on the right room, where she turns to you and says, "Do what you will. I'll be in here." And she reaches out to the first person who'll take something from her.
I wait because the leader does not take anything.
I guess I'm not taking anything either then.
Magdohr, that's your drinking money.
I already got my drinking money. I hold up the 4 silver that she handed me.
Somebody take this from me. I have to go to the meeting.
All right, fine.
All right, well, if you depress it, if I depress it, it will light up. And you look down at it, and it looks like kind of just like a bluish see-through, kind of like a glass marble, a flattish glass marble. And she says a dim light will emit from it if I need you here.
Understood.
Inside the room. Great.
Otherwise, we do not have permission to enter.
That is correct. But this gentleman here will not allow you to enter even if you wanted to. And there is, looks like an elven man standing in front of the door. He's got a nice looking like saber rapier sort of off to his side. He looks like he's probably somebody who spent some time at sea, as he has some more accoutrement of somebody who works and lives on a ship. But he's got tanned skin and what looks like a dark blue eye, like very similar to mine. Very, very dark blue, but maybe with like hints of even little bits of purple. It's kind of a very interesting eye color. And she
Blue
walks up.
doesn't look impressed, but Rodger is terrified. He does his best not to show this, though.
Awesome. What's your passive performance, or do you want to make a performance check to make sure he doesn't see that?
Passive performance, that would be 10 plus my performance, right?
Mm-hmm.
16.
Great. Yeah, you play it off really, really well. You don't show any signs of that bothering you.
Like, you just hear the James from T. Brockett, Terry, like inside his head for like comical effect, but like he holds it.
All right. So as she walks up to this man and kind of gives him a curt nod and hands him a small missive, which if you're not aware of what a missive is, I will not help you. But he hands it to him. He opens it real quick and looks at her, and then opens the door for her behind him while still keeping his face out. She goes in into what you see as it looks like it's dark in there. And then he closes the door behind him. And where do you post up? What do you do now that she is in the meeting?
But before we post up, I'm gonna look at Foal. Be like, must be nice not to hit your head on every hanging lamp in here, huh?
Sometimes the struggle is, for lack of a better word, a struggle. I do not like hitting my head on doorways. Blue over here doesn't have that problem a lot, and you, Dwarf, would consider yourself lucky sometimes if you were in my position.
Oh, I'm plenty lucky down here.
How's the weather down there, huh? Do you like that?
You know, one of these days, Giant, I'm gonna climb you, and I'm going to... Oh, I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna walk off to the bar.
That would actually make... and Vol's saying this to himself, that would make for an awesome battle plan. If I could just throw that dwarf at somebody.
So, I'm gonna walk up to
Magdohr.
Sorry.
Should meet at the table close to the door. Just...
Sure, you guys do your thing. Does the bar have place to sit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a table along bar top that runs probably cutting across the circle shape, like I said, with the back of it having that stairwell that goes up, and the wall behind it holding several different, types of liquor and alcohol, and each of how in cool bars they have underlit shelving units. Right. It's the same sort of thing, but it looks like they're using magical lights, not fairy fire, dancing lights and things like that. Static effects that they can, toggle to illuminate their alcohol magically.
Nice.
So it's pretty well lit on the inside, correct?
Yeah.
So, just so I remember again, when we walk in, there's 2 doormen, the bar at the back wall, set of staircase that run alongside the back wall that go up to the next level, and then a room on the left and the right.
Yes.
Correct? And she's in the right room. So Vol's probably going to post up on the bar counter that's closest to the left.
Okay.
But in a way that gives him a view directly in front of him is the right room.
Okay. If you
But
want
he
to
can
post
also
up on
see,
the
like, the
very
entrance.
end of the bar doesn't hit the wall, so you would be able to see most of the whole room. Like,
Yeah,
aside from
basically.
what's cut off by that other room, but there's not much over there aside from a few people at tables, so.
Basically, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, close up at the end of the bar, overlooking the whole room.
I'm gonna go find a winch or a tender and go up to him and say, "All right, can I get a cheap dwarven ale for me? Get me something weak and fruity for the boy, and water for the giant."
She says, "Who's the boy?"
The blue one.
You see Rodger pointing at Vol. He tries to be like 1 millimeter taller than Vol, but he can't magically do it. But so he gets on his tippy toes for a second.
I'm no longer with you guys though. At this point, I'm already up sitting on my
I
own
kind
bar.
of pointed to
Sure.
each of them as I was.
Oh, okay, so you're pointing at them wherever they are. Yeah, so while he's ordering the drinks, what are you doing? Rodger? I'm just not going to call you Blue Vol anymore. I'm just going to call you Dwarf.
No, that's fine. I'd say Blue Vol. Just call me Blue. Maybe it should be Blue Val.
Blue Val.
I thought
Blue Val Nightwalker Volu Nugoni or some shit like that. I think that would add further to the insult at that point. Glenn's like, ik say in the
on the racism, yay. Acism Ray, sorry. A professional pig Latin speaker. What is wrong with me?
Come on,
So what are you
okay,
doing,
Glenn?
Blue Vol?
So where is Vol right now? You said he's by himself at a location.
Yeah, so if
I'm
you...
at the end of the bar.
When you entered, he's on the left side of the room, on the end of the bar, overlooking everything. So he's able to look at that right room that she is in currently and keep his eyes on basically 95% of what's going on.
I would probably try to find the maybe not the opposite corner, but the opposite side to help give a countering view on any blind spots he could somehow miss.
Okay.
As well as get continue a good vision on him personally.
Okay.
And I would probably try to talk to him, even though I have a hunch I know what's gonna happen, but I message him anyways.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say you'd have to message him because you're gonna be about 100 feet away from him, or sorry, 50 or 60 feet away from him. So you're on the opposite side of the room. Magdohr, you're ordering drinks. Are you just at an indiscriminate place at the bar, or?
Yeah, just in the middle area near the door. I'd want to get there as soon as possible, so I'm pretty close to the door still.
Oh, then you're not at the bar.
Wherever the
bar's
closest point to
opposite
the
door.
bar is to the door.
So you just go. Well, the door is here, and opposite side of the room is the bar.
Yeah, I just walked straight across, pushed
Great.
people out of the way, just kind of got to the bar.
Don't keep this guy from his ale. Awesome. So you've ordered drinks for all three of you, though. Do you want to have do you want to tell them who they're for and they'll deliver them, sort of thing?
Yeah. I pointed to each of them. I got full of water. He's got to keep his wits about him.
For what you ordered, it's going to cost you 6 copper.
That's fine. I throw a silver down, tell him to keep the change.
Okay, then you have 1 silver remaining to buy drinks and such. As you're sitting there, let's see, whose charisma score is the highest?
I've got a 7.
Yeah,
I've got a 9.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I knew the answer. I just wanted to. What is your charisma score there, Blue Vol?
I believe it is sitting at 18 right now. Yes.
Oh boy, you hella charismatic.
It
At some
doesn't mean
point,
nothing.
a beautiful woman comes up to you, and she says, "Hi, you're really blue, and I like that color."
Could you describe this beautiful woman?
She is what looks like a gnomish woman. She's about 1.5 feet tall, so she's like standing on the stool. And she's got a sign that's 6 inches tall, so it's about a third her height. And she's just like holding it with both hands, and she sets it on the thing. And she's got like reddish hair with freckles, palish skin, porcelain, and green eyes.
Awesome.
She's wearing like a lovely dress. It's very modest, very pretty. It looks like she cared about her appearance tonight, and she probably came to meet a nice man.
Glenn, would you describe the goggles of night vision, or goggles of the night? I don't remember what they're called specifically, but
Goggles of night.
when you described them, you said that the lenses of them was blue tinted. Were they reflective, or can people see where I'm looking still?
If they're close to you, they can see, but like at a distance, it's really hard to tell where your eyes are going.
So it would be safe to say she would notice, although depending on her inebriated state, whether or not she could see if I'm looking at her or not. Okay. Like I got arms crossed, eyes forward. I am like, I'm supposed to be scanning, but I am eyeballing one person only. It is a hot daddy over there, keeping his distance, and like you see.
Is that the hot daddy?
Oh yeah.
Oh no! Oh no! Are you attracted to Vol? Is this changing from a father-son relationship to something much more different?
This is not a hentai gun.
We did say hot daddy.
True. If any of us was fathers and you looked hot, I would call you a hot daddy. It doesn't mean I want to have sex with you. Wow, get your head out of there.
It's kind of,
So,
Let's hear from chat whether or not that sounded sexual.
Let's apply it in a different sense. If I see a, let's say, somebody I know that happens to be a mother, and I call her, "Hey, hot mama," would that mean I would also want to copulate with her?
I personally feel like it has implications. Essentially, you're stating that she's a MILF.
Wow. Okay. Cultural differences? I have no idea.
So how would you want to phrase that in a way that doesn't make us believe you want to have sex with Vol?
I am staring at the... Does beef daddy actually mean anything different? A beef daddy is somebody who's a giant hunk. Come on.
Yeah.
Why does anything that has a...
You say like my hunky friend. Like, that way I know that you think he's a beefy, strong dude that is also your friend. Is that what you mean?
I'm staring at Kratos with an extra side of moody, and I cast one eye down at her, and my eye, shocker, is also blue, electric blue, which makes it hard for her to see through the goggles, unfortunately, just because, color through color lens. And I am gonna try to gauge her intentions, because somebody who's paranoid, somebody that approaches him, is out for his death. And so, he might be angry, but he's also paranoid.
All right, roll an insight check with disadvantage because you're wearing sunglasses inside.
Okay.
It's a little harder to gauge like facial stuff when it's not perfectly lit in here. It's not daylight, so.
I rolled a 5. This girl wants to take me out for a date, or is lately interested in me.
You rolled a 5?
I rolled the 5. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With disadvantage.
It's not hard to tell that she's very interested in you, and that interest goes right to your sunglasses. She goes, "These are some really pretty sunglasses. Where did you get them?"
I was given them to me from my older brother. And
who's your brother?
I point at Moody Kratos, and
ooh, he's like a great version of you.
Yes, he is actually twins? My twin brother. Yes, sir.
she stands on the bar and it's just, hi, twin brother. And there's a gnomish girl who is obviously pretty intoxicated, waving at you now, Vol. And Magdohr, it's not hard, as most people in the bar can now see that there is a, screaming gnome on the bar. And people just are clapping and it seems like this bar is pretty raucousy and kind of chill. So nobody's angry or concerned because people are just having fun. She's just being friendly. So, but everyone definitely sees that. And then she turns back to start. And if you weren't aware of before, she is absolutely flirting hard on Blue Vol. And she leans on your shoulder on the table and she says, how about I see those eyes? Can I see those eyes? Take your sunglasses off. Come on, you're inside.
I look at the camera with the office level deadpan stare, and the goggles slide off, and I look down at her.
She says, oh my god, your eyeballs! They're like the day sky. And then while she's flirting with Blue Vol,
I am continuing to look around while I take this point.
Sorry, go.
No, it's okay. I look at her, I give her a moment, and I continue my scanning, saying, "Thank you. You should see the cloudy gray that my brother has. He has a thing for gnomes."
Oh, wow.
I have green eyes.
Brothers.
He doesn't care.
At that point, I need Magdohr and Vol to tell me whether or not they want odds or evens.
Individually or together?
You get to choose
Okay.
odds or evens.
I'll take odd.
Okay.
I'll take evens then.
Great. So, tall man at the edge, overlooking everything like a falcon.
That's me, right?
You see no, Magdohr, you're just sitting there enjoying your pint. And you may be musing at the fact that this 1.5 foot tall person is flirting with your friend who made himself more than 1.5 feet taller since you last saw him. But yeah, Vol, somebody walks out of from to the side of the bar behind you. Actually, it looks like that's where kind of the bathrooms are. Not the room, but there's another one to the side of that. And someone stumbles out of it and slams into you on accident. And you turn around and you see a half-orc man, and he is just hey, piss off, idiot. And he pushes you.
Sorry, friend, I didn't mean to bump into you.
I'm not your friend, Goliath.
All right.
You're the one
my
editing,
friend.
so.
Do I see this? Am I close enough to see what's going on?
Oh yeah. I mean, well, here. What's your past perception? Your past perception is a 13.
13?
Yeah. You're
All
aware.
right. Well, Magdohr doesn't put up for this shit.
Half-orc is pushing your friend around.
He's gonna walk up, and even with the size difference, he's just gonna look up at him and push off and say, "Hey, get off my friend here."
What do you want, little man? You want
want
some
you
of
to-
this?
Oh, are you still talking? I told you to fuck off.
And he does, and you can definitely tell this guy's got halitosis. It's stinky, stinky breath.
Oh, shit.
Dwarf, enough.
And he goes,
Mister, what's your friend? Sorry, what's your friend? What's your name?
your friend's gotta save you now. And he grabs a glass that's mostly gone and just pours it on your head.
Ooh.
Full.
Okay.
And he says,
Wow, he's gonna reach really
you
high
look
up.
like you needed a shower. And look at
The
this,
golden
boys.
shower,
And
nice one.
he points over, he says, look at this, boys, looking at a table to the right side of the room that was near the edge of your vision, but it looks like it was full of people that are now guffawing at the fact that you've had beer poured on your head now.
How many of them on the table?
There's like 3 more over there, so 4 total probably that are kind of in his crew.
Before that happens, I look over at Vol and I kind of push the alchemy jug into his hand and say, if you want to return the favor.
Oh no, we're on a job. And then I look to the half-orc and I hold out a silver. And I'm like, listen, sorry for bumping into you. Take this and buy a round for you and your friends.
Sounds like a persuasion
He's all
check.
right.
Okay,
You
no,
can't
that's-
tilt him. What's your name?
The name is Nightwalker.
Nightwalker. I'm gonna use your money to buy all of us around.
And he laughs and he throws the silver at the table or at the barkeep and says,
The best one for this one.
and he slaps you on the face and like pulls a towel out and hands it to you. It's not superbly clean, but he says,
I always gotta give someone a hard time and see if they're ready for a tussle.
and he takes the beers and heads off as he slaps your face a little bit playfully. Inspiration point
Right.
for not taking the bait on the fight.
It was so hard. I'm not even gonna lie. I wanted to fight.
I know
Magdohr
you
doesn't
do.
put up with that kind of shit. He's been in enough bar brawls.
Oh man, that was wow. Okay, but yeah, you got a free drink out of your money, but also it seems maybe some local pals. I don't know if I want to call them friends. So yeah, what else are the rest of you guys doing? For the Magdohr, now you're down with Vol at that end of the bar.
So, that could have been a lot of fun. And I take my alchemy jug back.
Could have been, but then we have a job to do. If it was any other night, I would have swung first.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm just gonna go find an empty stool and sit down and just kind of keep an eye out.
And Blue Vol, you have passed attention away from yourself at this point, correct? With this gnomish girl?
As in, I'm like, she's in my view, but like 100% peripheral. So if you were to imagine like the camera pan, like you see him like looking forward, but you see like waving hands blurred in the edges. That is this lady like waving at me. Unfortunately, I'm not equipped to like tone her out or anything, so I am still like fully listening to her.
Right.
But
But you told her about your attractive twin brother across the bar, who just very calmly, very coolly handled a drunk half-orc and walked away with a free drink. And she says, I'm gonna go say hi to him. And she just like walks across the bar, knocking over like, those bowls of peanuts. Do you do anything else now that she's out of your focus?
I do look at Vol this time, and I do no.
No. I was like, that was what I imagined. You'd be like, be careful, be careful.
I'm gonna say, I message Vol and I say, I am not happy with how you are handling things, but I'll look out for you as I hope you looked out for me. There's somebody coming your way. Be prepared.
I don't respond to the message.
That's fine.
Never mind. I do.
Oh boy.
We're on a job. Pay attention. Stop fucking around.
As you wish.
Okay.
All right. Not more than a few moments after finishing that response, you see said, at least walking, but very, very, very involved with her alcohol, and you, Vol, she charges you and hugs your face, standing on the counter. Because, she's short, so it's like a child hugging you from the counter sort of thing.
Right.
And she says, your brother said the nicest things about you.
Rodger
brother.
like mouths to himself to no one. He just kind of mutters with a smirk, "Fair play."
So I'm not too familiar with gnomish people. As a Goliath, would her head fit in my hand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of grab the back of her head, pull her off, and set her either on the counter or on a seat beside me.
There's an open chair that you can set her down in.
And I just plop her down. Don't say anything.
I didn't tell you I'd like to be manhandled, but I do.
Little one.
I'm a woman.
What's your name?
Excuse me. My name is V.
V, did you see that dwarf over there? And I'll point to Magdohr.
What about the hot potato of the
Yeah,
snow?
I like his beard.
How do you feel about metal arms?
I mean, like armor?
No, like an arm made of metal.
That feels like it'd be hard to move it. No muscles and stuff.
He does it anyway, and he doesn't even use magic.
Whatever. My uncle could make something like that, but he's a tinkering master.
I stop responding at this point.
Does Vol is the one that has this bag of alert or whatever you want to call it, correct?
The marble, yeah.
The marble, sorry.
Oh,
the device
the thing that
LJ.
alerts. Yeah.
Does Vol have this somehow in like plain view so he or anybody else can look at this?
Right, well, it's one of those things I have to get used to doing. I should have said. In my head, I thought that I was going to hold it in my left hand, like just... So, for clarification, I've been holding on to it, but maybe not necessarily looking at it or checking it all the time, but it is in my left hand.
Enough that it's in your sight, so if it does glow a little bit, you'll be able to see it. Sure.
I would say that I would probably stop scanning. And just to keep an eye on the situation, I'm going to give up and I'm going to start staring at that marble. Just to make sure that somebody is paying attention to it.
Okay.
Is it glowing or is it still looking inert? Okay.
Nothing. At that point, like when you kind of like take your eyes over, it's obvious when she says, "My uncle is the master tinkerer," and you just kind of like lose interest. She, since you're not pandering to her and she, you know, is looking for interest in conversation, she says, "Okay, I'm gonna go now." And she hops off and then she walks to Magdohr and squeezes his beard, and goes, nice spongy. Your friends are nice. And she slaps your face and just walks to a different table and sits down with people that she obviously knows. And thus exits our gnomish lady. But the rest of the evening, like it probably like the next 20 to 30 minutes go by without consequence. A few people try and talk to you. The barkeep will say, for the sake of the story, you buy like a drink more. Whether or not you have water or something non-alcoholic is completely up to you. But goes by without consequence. And after about 20 or 30 minutes, the marble in your hand, Vol, does glow ever so slightly.
Would I see this?
You're passive. Are you just like looking straight at the marble for the next 20 or 30 minutes?
I mean, I gave up scanning. I mean, that's exactly what I said, so I would have stick with that. I was staring at this marble.
Okay, so go ahead and make an actual perception check. Because this isn't just like passively noticing. This is me looking at his hand looking for a thing.
Well, I should have been passive about it because I rolled a 10.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you notice it. You notice that his hand, once his hand begins glowing a little bit, you see that. Because it's a pretty stark difference from, nothing coming from his hand. Magdohr as well, with your passive, since you weren't looking for it, you can tell, like, as you kind of, like, look around, you see that, Vol does kind of look down at his hand a little bit, and you see the light glowing as well. What do you guys want to do?
I would start heading towards the elf.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up. In case Magdohr might have noticed, but in case he hasn't started like moving, pat on the back wherever he's at, and then start heading towards the elf. But I think Blue Vol is closer to the elf than I am, so I don't know if you want to let him engage first.
Sure. Yeah, Blue Vol, you're the first to arrive.
Okay.
At the door.
Excuse me, sir. I need to pass, sir.
No, you don't.
The way he says that, I'm assuming with such confidence, an insight to see if he knows there's something going on the inside.
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Or if he's just, doing his duty to keep keep people out. I'm rolling an 18.
Great. Yeah, no, it seems as though his confidence is based in just understanding He is not hiding anything. If something's going on inside, he has no idea. He's just doing his job.
There are people in danger in there.
And you're certain of this?
I would point at this marble of alert, and I say up front, that marble is controlled by the person who serves Lord D&amp. And she warned us.
And he puts his hand over your mouth and he says, "That's enough. Let's go inside." And as he reaches for the door, he obviously just didn't want you like spouting names. And luckily it's a bar and no one was listening to you that you know of.
That's fine. Like Rodger just starts, Blue starts spouting names.
Yeah. So he goes to reach for the door, and as he reaches for it, it opens up. And from a lit inside room, you can see that there are several people around a table that are sitting around. It looks like they've been passing around like a jug of probably wine that they've been drinking. And it smells like fresh bread and food they've been eating in there. And Elgira opens the door, surprised to see you all standing in front of it, and says, "Okay, ready to go?"
Seems there has been a misunderstanding. Apologize, my friend.
"Oh, I think I sat on it. We're fine. Everything's good."
I do,
and it does. Yeah. She says, "Yeah, no, the meeting went splendid. Let's walk home."
Look at this freaking. What's the name of the Scary Books series by R.L. Stine?
Goosebumps.
It's like the end of every Goosebumps chapter where like everything seems dire for a second, but it turns out to be nothing. I do look like I have been trying to keep the stony face look, but for this moment to realize the foul was on me to say that, I look at him apologetically.
Yeah, and I mean, you do that, and he just kind of like gives you a nod as you all head out, and then he closes the door once she's out of the room.
I'm gonna look at her and say, "Hey, Algie, remember we talked about you were gonna give me another couple silver for a drink before we go?"
I gave you all the silver you should have had. That you should have needed.
Oh, that's right. You're right. You're
a clever one. You're a clever one. I may have had a few glasses, but I'm not that far in that I would forget that I had given you money already.
Right, and I'm gonna.
And she kind of gives you a playful pat on the arm, not on the face. I just wanted to put it up in front of you. On the arm, she pats you.
That's a little too much for Magdohr there. So I'm gonna kind of tug on Vol's arm and kind of get him down.
Yes, Dwarf.
Does it really seem like she's a bit too graceful to accidentally push a button, don't you think?
Oh wow, somebody is paranoid besides me. Hallelujah.
And then I'm just gonna leave it at that, and then just kind of walk on.
I say nothing to that. I look at, as we're exiting out, or if we're already out, I look at Blue and I'm like, "You have those goggles. You take point."
As you wish. He does take point, and now when you say point, do you mean stand in front of her or stand behind her to look forward?
No, in front.
Okay. Rodger, he was once paranoid, but once he gives somebody his trust, he believes that person no matter the situation. It is a character flaw, so wherever Brandon is heading with this, Rodger would be oblivious to it unless it was like said bluntly to him, and even then he might not believe the situation. So he continues and starts looking forward, and I would say Rodger would probably take his time this time, looking around with his night vision goggles.
Cool. She, as soon as you step outside and you pass the two guardsmen, who is what? Like, are you keeping the same sort of triangular formation? With Rodger on point and Magdohr and Vol in the back?
Yeah, because I would have been close enough to whisper to him.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But
I'll
yeah,
probably come up a little closer to her too.
Awesome. Amazing. Yeah, so once you exit, you can tell that, like it's obviously not closing time, so not many people are leaving, but some people are kind of like coming in late. Other people are leaving because maybe they have an early morning or something like that, because it's only about 11 o'clock, maybe 11:15.
May I ask Magdohr a question? Magdohr.
Are you asking me across the way?
Like,
we're there in between you.
Yeah, like I'm just saying this out loud. Magdohr, did you check your pockets when the orc bumped into you?
The orc didn't bump into me. I pushed him.
Oh, well, sorry. Was it Vol that he bumped into?
Yeah.
Then may I correct what I said there, except it was to Vol?
No, I didn't check my pockets.
Ruffians are here. I would not be surprised if they put something unsavory in it, or the opposite.
Paul says nothing to that.
Okay. I mean, he can't see you, so like he doesn't know what you do, but he
Paul
just
does
says, okay. Well, I mean, you don't have to tell me that. So I guess we continue on our way then after he
I just wondered,
makes
I thought you guys stopped out front to have this little exchange. I didn't think you said that facing forward while you were talking and walking.
Oh no, like he's continuing forward while he says that. Well,
Okay.
we do not take a smoke break, and I guess like I turned my head to look at Algier and says, "How did the meeting go, Lou?"
It was very good, but we should hurry to make it back. I have much to report, so I would love as much time as possible to do so. And she keeps a pretty brisk pace walking back. What are your passive insights?
Bumping into me.
15.
13.
12.
15 notices that she's keeping a quick pace, but it seems as though she's a bit nervous.
I'm just gonna kind of, with my metal arm, tap Vol, just fucking smack him lightly.
Down at the dwarf.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't notice this, so I would continue my pace.
And just kind of give him a look like something seems off here. Like, I don't know.
That's the look. That's the look. You don't say anything though.
I don't say anything. I just give him a look.
Okay. So give him, obviously for our audio listeners, this is gonna be a little tough, but give him the look you give him IRL, and we'll describe that look for our listeners, because I want to see what that looks like.
Like a thinking kind of look, like
a furrowed brow, look back and forth between Vol and her.
Right, like this just
contemplating.
seems suspicious.
Okay.
Passive insight.
I dig it. No, I think Vol definitely gets your drift, because you've already pulled him down and said, hey, doesn't she seem a little too graceful to accidentally do that? And now it's obvious that you're worried about her and what is going on with this.
Okay.
Did you do anything, Vol?
Vol accepts the look.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right.
I was gonna say, my wrists are tied, so...
Awesome. So yeah, you guys continue, but at a pace that makes it a little tough to kind of like keep a great watch. So if you want to make a perception check, you can, but you have to do it with disadvantage. Now, obviously, since normally you're doing it with disadvantage anyway, it doesn't really change things, but for...
he tries to change the pace, but Rodger's walking slow in front. What's going on here?
She's going to walk faster and try and
He's
get
going
you
to walk
to walk
past
faster.
you?
She's going to walk faster.
She's walking fast regardless.
Yeah,
So either you keep up or you get left behind.
I would
unless
probably...
you say something or try and slow her. Yeah, she's going to try and keep the pace up.
Okay, I guess she walks past me and I go, you should stay in the back.
We need to keep the pace up. I need to get back to report.
I respect that, but we need to be careful. Ooh.
Okay. And she slows down, but now it is obvious to all of you that she is uncomfortable with the fact that you slowed down. She says, okay, let's go. At whatever pace you dictate.
Okay. Like I'll walk a little bit faster just to, you know, the kind of compromise. I guess being on the front, she wouldn't be able to see if my mouth was moving, would she?
No.
I guess I'll make contact with I've been trying to contact with Vol, but it's been getting met with insults, so I would contact Magdohr and I would mouth, is there something amiss?
With I'm going to attempt to whisper because I've not been messaged before, so I don't.
That's true. No. At the very beginning, I mouthed what the fuck you were doing in the very first episode, but
you know how
it turned out
to it.
Okay, I was gonna say because with little Chris, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
He just shouts, "I think there's trouble afoot."
I'd be like, it just seems something seems off about her.
And like Rodger is somebody who is a shapeshifter, and when he says off, like Rodger immediately thinks about like disguises and stuff like that. He doesn't think of like the mental capacity, and he would think about it. He's like cast message again and say, does she look different in some way when we last saw her?
No, it just I've got a feeling. Here, let me try something, and then I'm gonna say this out loud. Hold on, Algie. I gotta take a piss, and so I'm gonna turn and pull my pants down, just start pissing in the street,
middle of the street.
At least do it in the alleyway. Come on.
And so I'm just gonna take. She
points off to an alley. She says, "Quickly, come on."
I'll waddle over to the alleyway and with my pants around my ankles.
I couldn't do this in the bar.
Algira.
Yes.
Are we about to be attacked?
I don't know.
Okay.
Which is why I was trying to hurry. But now apparently we need to pee in alleyways and slow the pace. So I was trying to push the pace without saying anything. But if we're being followed and if we're going to be attacked, this is when they do it.
All right, and I'm gonna waddle back and just look at Vol. Like, did we figure out what's wrong with her?
LG.
We've got to keep moving.
All right.
What is
None
my
of you
name?
have good enough passive perceptions. You say, what is my name? And she says, your name is Blue Vol. I don't know. Rodger? What do you want me to call you?
Good
and when
enough
she
for
says
me.
that, you see the silhouette of somebody on the rooftop behind you as you are all surprised by the presence of several enemies. Roll initiative.
Oh boy. I love to argue, and I will not. I will humor.
What the fuck?
Well, the only reason you are surprised is because their stealth checks beat your passive perceptions.
No, that makes sense. Unseen enemy.
Yeah. Do we want to do this in order?
Sure.
So, Brandon?
I rolled a 9.
Okay.
I rolled an 8.
Okay.
I rolled a 7. And Algira rolled a 6.
Wait, what?
I was making a joke to continue our potential for a straight flush, but
Yeah, that would have been like a small straight or something. I was like, oh, you're rolling for her initiative now. Oh.
no.
All right, and so are you all aware of what the surprised mechanic entails?
They get a free round on us, essentially, unless we have the alert feature or otherwise have some ability to negate that.
Inspiration point. Good work.
Oh, thank you. I'll use it to kill you.
Did you two know that too?
I knew it was a free round, but I didn't know about the feet thing.
Okay, everyone gets an inspiration point.
Yeah.
Yay! Everyone gets an inspiration point. Thank you for
My
being well
apologies.
informed.
Would you like me to be quiet in the future if I do that? But there might be a possibility. Okay.
No, I just wanted to. I wanted to give everyone the chance to flex their D&D knowledge, and you all did. You all knew, so that's good.
I was like 60% sure. That's it. So I didn't want to say anything.
Honestly, I didn't know if it was 5e. I just knew from 3.5.
We're fucked.
Yeah, and technically it's not a free round. What it is, instead of a surprise round, you have the surprise condition. So the initiative order happens the same. You just don't take any actions on your turn, and you can't take reactions until after your initiative count has gone by. It was a big change from 4E for me, because 4E was a full-fledged surprise round. So, all right.
Let's see how.
So all of them technically go before you in the initiative order, and all 4 of you are surprised. So they're basically going to go twice before you get to do anything.
Okay.
So they are gonna go. The first one, they're all men in humanoids in like black clothing. They effectively look to us like ninjas. You know, like stereotypical ninjas. Yeah. They're wearing cloth stuff. They've got it looks like they have little hand crossbows and short swords. Let me see.
Did you say they were on rooftops?
One of them was on a rooftop that is jumping down. Okay. That's the first one to go. Okay. And it's going to jump down, and I'm going to assign a random number for each one. Or what I'm going to do is
I love the mechanic.
It has 2 attacks, and we are going to go 1-2 for Magdohr, 3-4 for Vol, 5-6 for Rodger, 7-8 for Elgira.
Lowest by goal.
Who was 4-5 again?
It's 3-4, then 5-6.
Okay, so
between
1 for Vol
and B,
1 for Blue Vol.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So these attacks are being made with short swords with advantage. What is your armor class, Vol?
14
with advantage.
Just yeah, because you're surprised. Doesn't inherently grant what?
I was gonna say we can see them though. Or are they like appearing behind us when they do it?
I mean, you saw the silhouette and then he attacked you, so.
Okay.
You didn't expect this in this exact moment. So next round, they're not going to have any amount of surprise or advantage on their attacks. But this first round, they will. So it hits exactly, just barely getting through your defenses, dealing 4 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then the next attack coming in at Blue Vol. Womp, womp, womp.
Oh, shit.
Oh, is that 20?
Yeah, that deals 9 piercing damage.
Oof.
As he stabs one and then stabs to the left. So stab left, stab right. And then 2 more figures appear from the opposite alleyway, not the P alleyway, the opposite alleyway behind you guys. And we're going to once again determine randomly where their attacks go. We've got 1 going at Rodger and 1 going at Elgira. So, Rodger? Ooh, what's your AC?
13.
I miss with advantage.
Nice.
And for Elgira, we're gonna. I love NPCs because I get to attack myself. That's her armor class. Okay, she definitely gets hit, and she takes 7 damage. And she seems not too fazed by it, surprisingly enough. And now it is another one of their turn, and we're once again to determine randomly where they go. So one is going at Magdohr, and the other one is going at Vol. Magdohr, armor class, please.
16.
Gotti. 7 piercing damage. And Vol. You said yours was 14?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I got a 13.
Okay.
So I missed with that one. Awesome. So now that is the end of this there. So you no longer have the surprised condition, but you are surrounded by your own, like a triangle around your triangle, basically. And they're all going to go again. And since they they're surrounding you, but they are not, because there's 4 of you, they're not actually going to gain any sort of flanking. So there's no advantage on their set attack rolls. But
how many
from
are
now
there
on,
total?
I'm going to roll to determine where
3.
their attacks go. But it's both of them are going to go at 1 target from now on.
3.
What's up?
No, total number of enemies is 3.
3.
Yeah,
Okay.
each of them can double attack twice.
Yeah, they're all attacking twice. So
Oh,
Magdohr,
wow.
you're getting 2 attacks from the first guy to go. One of them is a 9 to hit.
Nope.
The other one is a crit. And you take 6 piercing damage. And the next one is going to go at Elgira. One of them hits, dealing minimum damage. And then the last one is going to attack Rodger.
Okay.
And the first attack is a crit fail, which in my book ends your turn. So, yeah, that's the only negative effect of a crit fail. If you have multi-attack, I'm just going to say, because with crits, normally I have it create some sort, like you get to double damage dice, but with crit fails, it's just like you miss. And I'm not going to impose anything more than being knocked prone or it just narratively ending your turn. So he misses and like slips in a puddle. We'll say it was a puddle of pee.
Oh, geez.
And that's the end of his turn.
I look down at him like wounded in the thigh from the first attack, and like I see him swing at me, and he slips into the puddle of piss, and like you just see like the slow head lower because like Rodger's in like complete pain right now, but trying to roleplay as the Goliath as best as he can. He looks down with like complete determination.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
Elgira, whipping out something you didn't realize she had, moves her hands around and begins to conjure fire in her hands as she chucks it at one of them. Let me see. Oh, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this one. Awesome.
Oh,
that's good. So
Our
the one
kill.
the one that just attacked her, who was the second one to go out of them, is going to have to make a wisdom save against an effect. And he fails real bad as he just goes and like, it's like he's got rigor mortis, but he's not dead. He's locked up, completely paralyzed where he stands. As
Like he got held.
You can hear like kind of like that arcane whispering that kind of like permeates past where it should as it goes around, and it doesn't affect you, but he stares at her with wide eyes as he can no longer move. And that's the end of her turn. And now, Magdohr.
All right. I'm going to yell back at Rodger. Says, I can't take another one. I'll do me if you do you. And I'm going to do cure wounds on myself. I'm going to touch myself.
All right, go ahead and roll for how many hit points you regain.
Is that for both? Do I do both of those?
Both of
that's
what?
if you do it at level 2
Yeah.
for the one below that. So you add them together.
All right. So
Sorry,
I'm gonna heal.
it shows what in roll 20. It shows what he would cast it at level 1, and then it shows the additional die if he casts it at a higher level. So
Got it.
And I
he's casting
am allowed
cure
to cast it
wounds.
at a higher level at level 2, right?
As long as you have spell slots available for that, yeah.
So I'm going to do that and heal for 9.
At level 2?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Heal for 9 points. Nice. And that's your
And
action,
then-
but you still have bonus action movement if you'd like to.
And then, so there's 2 guys, 2 on one side and 1 behind, right?
Mm-hmm. Just, yeah, two on the left, 2 on the right, if you were headed down a road.
All right. Well, I'm going to, if I can, walk towards Elgira and just kind of get next to her.
Oh, you're standing right next to her. You
Oh, I
guys
am
had a
already?
pretty tight
Okay.
formation. Mhm. Yeah.
Nope. Then I'm just going to kind of stand back to her and keep a side of her protected there as best as I
Okay.
can.
Awesome. Very cool. All right. Anything else, Magdohr?
Nope. That'll be it.
All right, Vol, you're up.
Who's closest to me?
I mean,
whatever enemy is closest to me, I'm
on
gonna
the
attack.
left, there is 2, and both of them are closer than the one on the right that was attacking Elgira.
But the one on the right was the one that jumped from the rooftop.
Mm-hmm.
And is Rodger closer to the left or the right?
I mean, he's in the middle, so he can hit either side pretty easily. Effectively, you can all hit any of the enemies if you
Okay. I'm gonna draw both my swords and charge at the one on the right.
Okay.
And swing both of them. So let's see. First one,
So we're
and
going
this will
after
be
the
the
one that's by himself, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And this is the one that has the +1 with the Blessing of the Forge.
Would he have advantage with the flanking at this point over there?
No,
or
nobody's getting flanking or anything like that. That's why they didn't get any advantage either. Just it's kind of a mob, kind of a cluster right now. So everybody is kind of any advantage is negated by the presence of other allies and enemies.
That's fair. I tried.
Does a 7 hit?
A 7?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Fuck.
Don't forget, you guys have the inspiration that you can use on your attack rolls.
But I'd have to say that I'm using it before I make the roll, right? Yeah. Okay.
Unless that's a new mechanic to you, and I will be forgiving.
No, it's not. It's not new. We talked about this. Yeah.
We had a whole fight over this one because I was bitter, but that's okay.
And then there's a second one because I have 2 weapon fighting. It's gonna
bonus
be
action.
Yeah. There's a 23 hit.
Yeah, absolutely it hits.
Fuck yeah. Fuck, 5 piercing damage. Stab at him.
Oh, and this is the one that was... Oh, here, just a second. This is the one that was paralyzed. You have advantage because he's paralyzed. So go ahead and roll another dice as if you had advantage on the first one. And roll another die to give yourself advantage on this one.
Does it appear that he's being held?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
She whispered a spell and he became paralyzed.
So do you want me to re-roll the attack roll for the first one? Or?
If you want to take the first 2 rolls as one roll, then we can just have you roll another 2d20s as the second attack.
Well, because of roll 20, this nice thing, the advantage on my first roll would have been 22.
Yeah, great. You hit.
It rolls automatically just in case. That's why I was like, hey, he has advantage, right?
Yeah.
But,
and that one did, so the first one would have done 8 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then the second one did 5 piercing. And that would be, but that would also be a +1, so 9 piercing damage because that was the blessed blade.
Okay.
So a total of 14.
Isn't it a +2 now? Because it was already a +1. And he gave it a +1
blessing
more.
of the forge.
So 15
So it's
damage.
actually the damage +2 and to hit +2.
Well, why? Because
it was your
Blessing of the
family's
Forge.
blade or whatever.
Yeah, I gave you a family blade that was your main hand weapon that was a +1 at the in the first session. So your main hand should have always been a +1 to hit and damage.
He said,
Sure, I'll take it.
Just to say what's happening here, in the very first episode, he basically gave you 2 +1 weapons and then me the diamond. But when he said that to you, you started talking about how you're humble, you wouldn't care what sword you had, and you tried to dismiss it. But retconning is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, so he takes 2 more damage.
Okay, so a total of 15 then.
Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, you hit 2 hits, and as a result of you hitting him, you can tell that he's able to try and wiggle out of this spell every time he takes damage.
Right.
But he is unsuccessful in doing so twice. Anything else you would like to do on your turn?
No, that's it. I'm still towering over this man, and hopefully that's enough of a signal to the rest of the group that I can finish him off.
Awesome. Vol, it is your turn. Or sorry, Rodger, it is your turn then.
Blue Vol. Rodger looks down at the guy that is, either for real or maybe not actually prone from his crit miss, but no, you did say he slipped into a puddle of piss, so I'm guessing he's prone.
Yeah. We'll say, no, he slipped, it ended his turn, he stood back up. He's still standing up.
Ah, good, because, range attacks with disadvantage on people that are prone. But he's going to
also,
stare
he's within
at
5 feet of you, so that would also be disadvantage for ranged attacks.
Okay, we're going to put that rule back in. Cool. So I am going to continue to stare at him. I have no weapons at my side, and the team is going to hear the words, "Eyes up, Guardian." And I am going to cast Bless on all 3 people besides myself, including Elgira, which means anytime they make an attack roll, they will add a 1d4 to their attack roll to increase it. And that is a concentration spell, and that will be my action. I am not going to move, and I am not going to use my bonus action because I don't have anything that could, because the whole can't use 2 slotted spells in one, turn.
Awesome.
Which means I have to survive. Yeah.
To keep it around. Yeah, awesome. And so that's going to be everything for you since you don't have bonus action and you don't want to move. Okay. Then we're back to the top unless there's anything else. Okay. The one who is paralyzed is going to use his turn to try and get out and maintains the fact that he cannot. He is still paralyzed. The other two on the left side, Mr. P-Slip and the other guy, are going to choose 2 new targets for their attacks. And both of them are going for Elgira with all 4 attacks.
Jesus.
And with her armor class, she is hit 3 times. One of them is a particularly rough hit. So that is... and... All right, she's now taken 31 points of damage for anybody that's keeping track.
Jesus.
As she gets hit multiple times, and she loses concentration on the spell she was maintaining as a result of this massive amount of damage. And the guy, and he looks real angry because he's also real hurt. But that's the end of their turns as they go sequentially. And now it's Elgira's turn as she attempts to not be dead. And she tries... She casts another spell, but this time touching herself. As you see the blood flowing from different wounds on her now, and she touches her skin as she breathes a little heavier, and her skin looks like it turns to stone as she attempts to protect herself from all of this incoming damage. And what that's going to do mechanically too is she's going to have resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage until her concentration ends, or for an hour. But that's the end of her turn. And now it's your turn, Magdohr. Magdohr, yeah.
All right. I'm going to say, stupid boy. And I'm going to turn towards Rodger and use my final spell slot to heal him.
I would kind of like look at you and I'll just shout, leave me, kill them.
Would I have heard that before?
Is that you resisting him touching you? Like you're like whopping his hand away?
I would try to, but not if it means that he burns or wastes a spell slot.
Sure. Because it's a touch, we'll have you make an unarmed spell attack, which is just going to be your spell attack bonus. Try and touch him, and you have to beat his armor class. So you're resisting, trying not to make him burn his action. If he succeeds, he will get to cast the spell on you. If he doesn't, he will have his action to do something else.
Okay.
What am I rolling then? Sorry.
So whatever your to hit is with your spells, roll a spell attack.
It would be in spells top right corner spell attack bonus.
So any spell, just roll to hit with the spell.
I don't have any spells. Oh, here we go. Oh no, that's not right. Could I just roll a d20 and then add my spell save?
Your spell attack bonus is going to be the spell modifier, which I'm not sure what it is for you. Wisdom, I think.
You have a 20 wisdom.
It says spell attack bonus 5. I have a 17 wisdom.
Great, yeah. So yeah, roll a d20 and add 5.
All right.
He crits on healing me.
Yep, he heals you. You try to smack his hand away, but he gets you and heals you. So go ahead and roll the Healy damage.
Sure.
The sparkling damage.
And I rolled a 5.
I look pissed, and I just kind of mumble, "Thank you." Oh.
Anything else, Magdohr?
No, that'll be it.
All right, Bull. What you got, buddy?
How the man in front of me is now free?
Yes, he is no longer paralyzed from the massive amount of damage that she just took. Her concentration broke on the spell.
How's he looking?
He's pretty hurt.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's taken those 2 hits you put in on him really hurt him.
Okay, I'm gonna try and finish him off with my main hand weapon.
Okay, and this is no longer with advantage, just because he's not paralyzed anymore.
Well, I'm gonna use an inspiration point.
Yeah. I came out like candy for a reason.
Just a 25 hit?
Oh, absolutely.
That's a
crit.
That's a nat 20.
That's a lot of damage.
That's a crit.
So that's a 7 plus 4 plus 2.
So 13?
That's 6, 13. Yes.
How do you kill this dude?
Would Vol be aware of like everything going on behind him? Because his back's kind of like. Can he at least?
Your back's to an alleyway. There's nothing behind you. Nothing.
Okay,
going
but
on
I could see like Algira and stuff, and like them.
Yeah,
like,
everybody's in front of you at this point. If you rotated around to kind of get, trying to get flanking on this guy, you are now like in view of the whole thing. So you saw those two dudes stab her, and you saw the guy kind of loosen up as the spell ended, and then took that final blow as you needed to end him.
I'm gonna behead him.
Okay.
Just clean. No, it's piercing. So I'm gonna stab him right through the throat.
Yep.
Yeah.
He can't even scream.
No, just stab him right through the throat. And for the moment, okay. And I need to know. Like, this is where I'm gonna learn. This is my learning. If I wanted to, so what's the distance like if I wanted to use my bow?
You would have to. You can only interact with one object.
Right.
And that means sheathing or unsheathing a weapon. So the only way you'd be able to use your bow this turn is by dropping your swords and pulling out your bow.
Right. But I do know there's advantage, disadvantage rules at using bow and close range. So range-wise, how am I looking?
Because there's people between you and the enemies, you wouldn't have disadvantage. Yeah. You would be able to shoot them just fine. They may get a little bit of cover from your allies, which would boost their AC a bit. And if you critically fail, there's a chance you could hit your friends.
Right. Fuck, because I want to use my spell, dude. No, I'm gonna stab him, then I'm gonna run at the first other like attacker that I see and attack with my second sword.
Do you want to do the left guy or the right guy, just for my reference? Left guy, got it.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
The piss guy?
Hit.
No, piss guy's on the right.
This guy's on the right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I imagine you're headed downhill a little bit, so that's why the piss roll came out of the alleyway. You would be the furthest one down.
Does a 21 hit?
Absolutely hits.
And that does 8 piercing damage.
Nice.
And then, so as I imagine it now, there's Algira's kind of like kneeling on the ground. We've got Magdohr on the left and Rodger on the right, correct? Mm-hmm. And then I've come in and I've just stabbed this guy. And so now I want to...
Sorry, it's Magdohr on your right. Or on your left, sorry. Magdohr's on your left.
Like in relative to Algira.
Yeah.
Okay. Regardless, I wanted to position myself after I do that in front of Algira.
Great. You cannot get between them and her currently, because they are engaged in melee combat with her. So there's no space for you to just like stand in between them.
Okay. Can I flank? Could I position myself to flank?
You can, and now there are enough of you that you will provide advantage for the next person to make its combat. Like an attack roll with a melee weapon within 5 feet.
All right.
Yeah. Cool.
Then that's it.
Great job. Now we're on to Rodger.
Awesome. Let's see. This guy apparently not the person that was originally held, but the person that slipped. Where is he at?
He's right next to you. He's the closest one to you.
Okay.
Because you were in front, downhill. He was one that slipped in the pee.
I'm gonna say you start to see magic finally start to form in his hand beyond the glowing words of the bless, and he did choose not to bless himself, so he's gonna accept it. And you start to hear like the sound of distant thunder as it begins to form in his hand. And he's gonna look at this guy in front of him and say, "Do not mess with the clan." And he's going to attack with inspiration to negate the disadvantage of being right next to him.
Okay.
Let's see if I hit.
With what attack? What type of...
With Chromatic Orb.
Chromatic Orb, awesome. Doesn't that force them to make a spell save?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. I was going to say, that's one way you can get around it, though, in the future. If a spell forces them to make a spell save, you don't have disadvantage no matter how close they are.
So the problem is, I rolled an 8, which I know is going to miss, and I am going to attempt, with the power of uncanny luck, to ask for the Traveler to give me guidance. And, like, I like, he's dead in front of me, but somehow I shoot over his shoulder as I do this. And I say, Traveler, give me strength. And I am going to use Favored by the Gods, which allow me to roll a 2d4 and attack that, or add that to my total.
Oh, awesome.
Even after I, after I know I miss, which I have a feeling this is not going to help, but you know what? Let the gods decide,
2d4 helps, 2d4 is up to 8. That's a lot.
But then you, wouldn't you, sorry, with roll 20, it shows 2 rolls. Wouldn't you be using the 12 because you rolled with advantage?
Oh, no, he negated his disadvantage.
Oh, you just negated the, okay.
Yeah, trust me, I would have been nice. Unfortunately, out of those 4, I rolled a 1 and then a 2, putting this 8 to an 11. Does an 11 hit?
So the flanking rules also don't give advantage in this case?
No, because it's not a melee attack.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. No, it's they have, mechanically speaking, 1 higher AC than that.
No, that's respectable. So he sees me say that, and like, I try to act cool because I'm intentionally trying to mess this guy up, but somehow, despite being within 5 feet, I just throw my arm and this deafening blast of thunder energy just shoots right past his ear. And I am going to do my damn best to play it like I was meaning to intimidate him versus completely looking like an idiot because I've been standing stoic this entire time.
Cool.
So hopefully he will rethink before he attacks me.
Yeah, maybe he'll have a harder time going after you with all that crackling thunder. Anything else?
Nope. I'm gonna use my concentration to hold the bless on anybody that needs it, and that'll be the end of my turn.
Awesome. I forgot to use bless, but that's fine. It worked out.
Yeah,
you hit both times.
Other 2 are gonna go once again, randomly determining. 1 at Elgira, 1 at Vol.
Yep.
All right, Vol. Armor class,
Keep
please.
on my chest. Hit me.
14.
Great. 1 hits you for a total of 4 piercing damage.
Okay.
And here's for Elgira. And once again, 1 hits, dealing 3. Actually,
he told us damage
because
between.
it's halved. So, and she makes this concentration save. She's fine. That's the end of their turns, and now we're on to Elgira, who is going to, she's going to take the dodge stance. She's trying to make it harder for them to hit. She understands at this point that she's outgunned at this range, so she's just going to take a stance that will allow them, or all attacks against her will have disadvantage. But that's her full action. And now it is Magdohr's turn.
All right, time to beat these blushes. So I'm gonna take out my warhammer, and I'm gonna shove it into my newly formed wristing hand. Yeah. It's got a wrist on it.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna
like General Grievous is spinning it.
Yeah, just spin it around. No, I'm gonna wave it above my hand and just bring it down onto the.
Because of your good friend Vol, you have advantage on this attack roll.
All right, and that'll be on the guy on the left of me. Or the left. The left. Well, we've determined the left, right? Because the right one's
left
near Rodger.
Left is going to be the guy that has not been hit. Do you want to hit left guy or P guy?
Can I hit P guy from where I'm at?
Mm-hmm. I hit left guy.
Yeah, but you're facing the other direction. So left guy for you is
now,
P guy.
Okay.
There's P guy
I'll hit the
and
same
other
guy.
guy.
That Vol hit.
Yeah. All right, so you want to hit P guy.
Yeah.
I love that that's how we're denoting him. He's not guy with this physical characteristics. No, he's guy that fell in P.
And what's bless do one more time, Tyler? Rodger?
Adds a 1d4 to your attack or save.
So I have to determine before or after?
Just roll
you
it.
You do it automatically, yeah.
Like, well, I mean, it doesn't matter. Is it for damage or to hit?
To hit.
All right, so I rolled a 21. Does that hit? All right, and I do 5 damage to him.
Awesome.
I just kind of bonk him on the head.
Conk. He's like, ow.
And,
Alright, anything else, Magdohr?
That'll be it for me.
Is it a light weapon?
It's a warhammer.
Okay, so it's not okay. It's versatile, but not light. Great.
Yeah.
Anything else? That's it. That's everything.
Yeah, that'll be it for me for now.
We need to get you healing word. Real bad. Okay. Now it is Vol's turn, as you've seen one of these guys get bunked.
I'm gonna attack the guy who's not been touched at all with both my weapons. Okay. So starting with my main hand, does a 25 hit? That's a crit.
25 and crit, both hit.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my god.
2 crits and 1 combat, jeez.
It's a 5 + 6 + 2, so that's a 13.
13 for the first hit?
Yeah, first, yeah. And then the first one was a crit, sorry, I didn't make that clear. And then the second one coming in is a 24.
Yeah, that hits.
19 out of 20, wow.
And that's a 4.
4 damage? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, they both look pretty dang hurt after this barrage of attacks and bunks. Anything else?
No, I hope they're looking right into my cold green eyes as I just cut into them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they're looking right at you. The weird thing is you don't see fear. You just see kind of like it's an odd calm about their demeanors. Like most people when they're this hurt, even the guy that got his head taken off, if anything, was a little angry but never scared. Okay.
Right.
But now it is Rodger's turn.
Okay. So the person that they've been attacking, was it the person that I was trying to hit initially?
Yeah, you were trying to hit. Vol just hit unhurt guy. P guy and other guy are both hurt equally now.
Okay. Is there somebody that I could hit that would give me disadvantage right now?
Other guy, the one that Vol just hit, is further away from you than P guy. P guy is right in front of you.
Would you impose disadvantage on me for having him near me when I attack him?
Nope.
Okay. After like I had my arm out, clearly missed, and I am going to like raise my arm in the air and aim it over to my side towards the other guy. And I am going to cast Chromatic Orb one last time. Or for now anyways. Again, thunder damage.
Yeah.
And I rolled another 8. That is
what?
2 2s in each turn. Yep, no, it's okay. We always get these sessions where you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just firing blanks out of my gun right now.
It's like
warning shots.
It's the little static electricity. And that's your action, correct?
That is my action. I'm going to use my bonus action just in case to use my sorcery points, the charge up to give me a single spell slot. So I am still going to have one level 1 spell left, and that'll be my turn.
Awesome. Okay, so that is the end of the round again, and we're back to the top with this is other guy, not P guy, who's going now. He looks at the situation really quickly, and you see him disengage ever so quickly. Yeah, disengage means you can't make attacks of opportunity unless you have the alert feat or the sentinel feat. The sentinel feat allows you to make attacks of opportunity even if someone disengaged. But yeah, so he disengages, and then he throws 2 like you can't really see what they are, but they look like darts flying in the dark, and one hits the body on the ground and one hits the other guy, the P guy.
Wow,
and
he uses standard action and a second standard action.
They both like decay in front of you and mummify and turn to like just like decayed corpses in front of you, and he hops over a roof and just disappears. Unless you'd like to give chase in the direction that he left, you are out of combat.
He can run 30 feet, right, with the disengage?
Yeah. I mean, it's like not a super wide road. You were in an alleyway, so he threw the things, disengaged, and hopped up on top of a roof.
I thought we were walking down a main road.
I mean, the main road's 20 feet wide, and he was on the edge, so took him 10 feet to get into the alleyway, and he hopped up on the roof with boxes and stuff. Dexterous.
Okay. You're telling me that with 30 feet, he managed to run away, climb out, and get out of sight then?
Yeah, like I said, you know the direction he is, and you could feasibly give chase, but you don't know if there's any other enemies around, so unless you want to give chase, you're out of combat.
No. I've been rolling bad anyways.
Well, I'm glad he didn't use those knives on us.
She shakes her
Are you okay?
body, and like the stone skin like flakes off, and she says, "I'll be fine. We should make haste."
See, you thought we weren't prepared, but did you see him slip on my piss?
If you planned that, then you're more of a mastermind than I ever could imagine, Master Dwarf. Let's go. She starts to walk towards the bridge.
Yeah, no, I follow along.
Cool.
Swords drawn still.
Yeah, you guys keeping alert, eyes open. You see a few people walking in the street, leaving the bodies of those guys back there because now they're just like weird decayed corpses. And you eventually find yourself back at the bridge where there are two guards that are there at the edge of the Protector's Enclave. And she says, "This is where I leave you. Take this," and she hands you a single note and says,
I take it.
"Follow the instructions. I will see you at the denoted time. Good work." And she leaves with the guards.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's enough for me for one day, I say, laughingly.
I'm gonna read the note really quick just so we know what we're expecting.
That's right.
Leave on a good note.
Leave on a good note. Yeah. It says, meet here at the Protector's Enclave in the morning at sunrise, and you will receive your reward as well as meet our benefactor.
Early morning again. All right. Well, I guess I better head to bed now. Is that okay with you, Master Vole?
Been a rough night. Everybody should rest up.
All right. And Magdohr's gonna waddle off to his blacksmith house.
Yeah, and Volt's gonna go back to his place.
And Rodger will stay there for a little bit to contemplate how things could have gone better.
Okay, so as several of you go back to your own places, and Rodger remains on the bridge, kind of silhouetted in the moonlight. You all, as you go your separate ways, and for this moment, kind of contemplate exactly what that meeting could have been. Who these people were that attacked you and why they may have done so. But you do know that you get a little bit of a ray of sunshine in the morning getting to meet the person who's been granting you all these. Maybe you can get some answers, but we'll find out next time on Casual Quest
Masters. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. You can find me on Twitter at 2timestyler.
You could find me on Twitter at LR the 11th, all spelled out LR the 11th.
I'm on Twitter at Glenn Houston. It looks like Huston.
And I am on Twitter at Zigzagoon.
And as always, Tyler, send us out.
We are a part of Casual Master Quest, a podcast network dedicated to giving you the video game news and tropes you deserve. You can find the show everywhere you can Google, and on Twitter at MasterQuestPod. Glenn is a part of a sister D&D show called Ready to Roll, where you can find more of his and other talented players as they continue their quest in the Forgotten Archipelago. That was Nick, that was Brandon, that was Glenn, and this is Tyler. We will see you next week with another session of Casual Quest Masters, and don't forget to never stop the quest. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's episode of Casual Quest Masters. Thank you so much to you, our listeners, for being here, and to Syrinscape for allowing us to utilize their amazing programs for sounds and music. Check them out at Syrinscape.com. We hope to see you here next time for the next episode of Casual Quest Masters.